Let's turn our attention now to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Russia's defense minister Sergei Shoigu says Ukraine has launched about 263 attacks on the country since June the 4th. He says Kyiv continues to attempt attacks on the Yuzhno-Donetsk, Zaporizhia and Donetsk directions by elite formations trained by NATO specialists. Meanwhile, the European Union says it will offer an aid package to Ukraine worth 50 billion euros for the next 4 years. According to the European Commission President, Ursula von der Leyen announced the aid package would include both loans and grants. The figure comes after a review of the bloc's 2021 to 2027 budget and ahead of an international conference in London this week aimed at raising more funds to rebuild Ukraine from its war with Russia. Ms. von der Leyen also says the EU will provide a €15 billion budget to boost migration policies, to foster partnerships with third countries, provide help to refugees in the Middle East and react to humanitarian crisis. Also, Ukraine's defense ministry says the European Union will train 30,000 soldiers this year as part of the EU military assistance mission for Ukraine. The ministry said in a statement on the Telegram messaging app that the EU mission at the initial stage in 2022 purchased the necessary military property, equipment and ammunition to train Ukrainian servicemen. More of the attacks in Ukraine. Russia announced on Monday its armed forces shot down Ukraine's military helicopter while the Ukrainian side counteracted with information that its troops attacked Russia's military targets. Russia's defense ministry says Russian troops launched a long-range sea-based high-precision weapon strike against foreign-manufactured military hardware storage sites of the Ukrainian forces over the past 24 hours, foiled Ukraine's attempted attacks in Kupiansk, Krasny Liman and Donetsk, Zaporizhia, Kherson, and caused great loss to Ukrainian manpower and facilities. It also said air defense forces intercepted several multiple launch rocket systems and projectiles and shot down an Mi-8 helicopter and, of course, Ukrainian drones. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz says direct talks between the world leaders is more important than ever before in the light of a challenging global environment after meeting with China's Premier Li Qiang in Berlin earlier today. Mr. Scholz made the remarks during the press conference with Mr. Qiang, adding direct dialogue, personal talks, a real discussion. All of that is more important than usual in this unusual time full of global challenges and crises. According to Mr. Li, he hopes for an economic improvement of the Chinese economy, saying that the long-term positive fundamentals of the economy have not changed and that China has the ability and confidence to promote sustainable and healthy economic development. Mr. Scholz, on his part, also addressed the two countries' shared climate goals and the Russian war in Ukraine, calling upon China to continue to refrain from supplying weapons to Russia. Let's get more of the VOA's Anna Chernikova joins us now. Anna, great to see you today.
Good evening.
So let's begin with the attacks on Kyiv and other parts of Ukraine today. Give us an overview of Russian attacks today already.
Yeah, it was another overnight massive attack. As Ukrainian air defense confirmed, the main target was the city of Kyiv. However, there were explosions across the country, and we have also confirmation from the Ukrainian military that 35 drones, Shahed drones in total, were used in this attack by Russian forces. 32 were destroyed. 3 drones apparently, well, according to information that we have, there were 3 hits in Lviv region. So apparently, these 3 drones that were not destroyed. The main target for these attacks this time were military and infrastructure facilities, and in Lviv region, infrastructure facilities, critical infrastructure facilities were damaged. Also, in addition, Ukrainian air defense confirmed that Russian forces used ballistic missiles Iskander M and C-300 to attack Zaporizhia. And unfortunately, Zaporizhia and Zaporizhia region is under very heavy shelling for the past months in general, but this night particularly. Also during the day, it was a sad news also from Kherson. Russian forces attacked the rescue team who were dealing with the results of Kakhovka Dam explosion, and we're trying to save also the land, the facilities, people home. So 8 rescue team members were attacked. One unfortunately was killed. Others are injured, and the injuries are of different kind and state.
And it's interesting that the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, is still not safe from Russia's wrath. How insistent is it about carrying out these attacks and not relenting even when everyone is calling for peace on both sides?
The city of Kyiv as a capital, as a place where, as Russian officials often say that this is a place where the decisions are taken, of course, will continue to apparently to suffer, at least according to what we see at this point. A lot of people here in Ukraine, and particularly Kyiv citizens, consider Kyiv safe because safe from the attacks because of the systems, air defense systems, which exist now in Ukraine. And we know that Kyiv is under quite a good protection, and President Zelensky also mentioned that, and not only him, also military officials. So, of course, it's not safe if we talk about it as, in a normal circumstances, but definitely the city of Kyiv is protected very well, at least at least up to the capacity that Ukraine and Ukrainian air defense has at this point.
Have there been any other attempts at mediation aside from the African leaders' own mission of the weekend?
Not particularly something like some news or some new activities happening, but we know, and again, the president of Ukraine, Mrs. Zelensky, confirmed that all the talks continue, and European leaders and Ukrainian allies continue to discuss this and have this question as a priority on their agenda. And of course, Ukrainian officials continue to communicate with their allies, and as President Zelensky mentioned during press conference with African leaders, he welcomes all the countries from all the continents to join, and more countries from more parts of the world who are joining this process is better, because of course Ukraine wants to have this very wide coalition, and Ukraine is open to this wide discussion involving different countries and different continents. This is according to Ukrainian officials. So for the moment, we don't have any particularly new and breakthrough moments in this regard, but the process is ongoing, and this is a long-term and diplomatic process, and it's long run, and we have to understand that it will take a lot of time.
There's still strong support for Ukraine, especially from the EU, which is pledging billions of dollars towards Ukraine, again, to boost migration and, of course, to help third countries who want to support Ukraine. How relevant is this for Ukraine right now? And, what sort of impact will this have on the war?
Well, this support is crucial. This is no doubt. And we have another confirmation of this new package of support from the EU that Ms. von der Leyen mentioned and announced. It is crucial for Ukraine. It is crucial for Ukrainian people mainly, because this support will be provided not only economically, but also particularly for the reconstruction and rebuilding of certain areas. And we all understand that, of course, while fighting is happening, continue to happen, especially in certain places, fighting are worse than in others, but still people need their homes being rebuilt. And now we see what's happening in Kherson and Kherson region. Water is gone, but almost. But now people need their homes back. So this is extremely important. It's crucial because, of course, the Ukrainian economy, with this a year and a half of war, of full-scale invasion, full-scale war, and 9.5 years of war in total, of course, Ukrainian economy is struggling a lot.
Right, Anna, thank you for your time, and thank you for giving us more detail about that situation. And please do stay safe.
Thank you.